Jai Om Shabad Paramahamsa Parivritakacharya Tattva His Divine Grace of Bhajana Arvinda Pujan Swami Jagat Guru Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Deputy Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Shabad Paramahamsa Parivritakacharya Tattva His Divine Grace of Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavvranda Ki Jai. Acharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन जय। ब्रज वृंदावन धाम की जय। नदी माय प्रणाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। समावित भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंद। Oh glorious assembly, glorious, oh glorious assembly, oh glorious assembly, glorious Sri Guru and Sri Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 13, text number 14. The nature, the enjoyer, and the consciousness. Okay. The sloka is in reference to what is knowledge and what is nescience. In the 12th sloka, Lord Krishna elaborately describes the subjects which are supposed to be known by human beings. Let me reiterate that humility, pricelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego and perceptions of the evil of the birth and death and old age and disease, detachment, freedom from the entanglement with the children, wife, home, and the rest, even-mindedness amidst the pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, that is Krishna, aspiring to live in a solitary place, that is Vrindavan. It's chaotic there. But there is inner, let's say, very, very quiet, shanti that you can obtain. Then acceptance of the importance of the self-realization and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All this I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance. So, in our life, we should concentrate only learning these things. I can hear myself. I don't know about you. Last time when I gave class, I could not hear. But there is a $7,000 improvement in my ear. So we are living within this material nature, and we think we are enjoyer, but our consciousness will, if it is geared in the right direction, it is supposed to be used for searching out reality. So for that, the subject matters to be learned are described here, because everything else is ignorance. All the material situations or analytical study of trying to find out how the earth the whole material which came in being, there's nothing but nonsense. You know, even in search of God particle is also nonsense. That is not the methodology that is described by Lord Krishna. So, generally, when there is arguments within the learned people, they try to show something beyond the subject matters that what Krishna is asserting that are the subject matters of knowledge. Rather, if anybody goes out of the boundary of those subjects, which are not described in this 12th verse, they are supposed to be discarded as unimportant. One should not get into argument for those. One should not waste their time. But then, these are the subjects which has been, they are supposed to let us know what is the supreme absolute truth. And it cannot be described as impersonalist. Actually, this was the argument of an impersonalist, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, gave to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu challenged him that whatever his interpretation of Srimad Bhagavatam was completely false, because he was impersonalist and Mayavadi. You know the difference between impersonalist and Mayavadi? Mayavadis are generally impersonalist, but they go beyond a couple of steps more. First, they claim themselves to be Krishna. All right? And even Krishna that is described in Bhagavad Gita, that is also made up of Maya. So everything is made up of Maya. But when you realize that you are not made up of Maya because you have got so much heaps of knowledge, therefore you are Krishna. So Mayavadis want to replace Krishna by themselves. Now, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya argued on the basis of the personality is not being percepted through our senses. It's not known through our blunt senses. Therefore, one should not waste time. All right? And that, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, how can you deny this? How can you deny this? Don't you know the Vedas describe him uselessly as this argument in sloka number 14, which has been given. Sarvatah pani padam tat sarva shiro mukham sarvatah sruti malloke sarvamavritatishtate. Everywhere are his hands and legs. His eyes, head, and faces, and he has ears everywhere. In this way, the Supersoul exists, pervading everything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu counter-argued and defeated him. Let's hear how Srila Prabhupada is explaining for our benefit. As the sun exists, diffusing its unlimited rays, so does the Super Soul or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He exists in his all-pervading form, and in him exist all individual living entities, beginning from the first great teacher Brahma down to a small ant. There are unlimited heads, legs, hands, and eyes, and unlimited living entities. All are existing in and on the Super Soul. Therefore, the Super Soul is all pervading. The individual soul, however, cannot say that he has his hands, legs, and eyes everywhere. That is not possible. if he thinks that under the ignorance that he is not conscious that his hands and legs are diffused all over, but when he attains to proper knowledge, he will come to that stage. His thinking is contradictory. This means that the individual soul, having become conditioned by the material nature, is not supreme. The supreme is different from the individual soul. The Supreme Lord can extend his hands without limit, and individual soul cannot. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that if anyone offers him a flower, a fruit, or a little water, he accepts it. If the Lord is far distance away, how can he accept things? This is the omnipotence of the Lord. Even though he is situated in his own abode, far, far away from earth, he can extend his hand to accept that anyone offers. That is his potency. In the Brahma Samhita, chapter 37th verse, it is stated, and Goloka eva nivasatya khilatma bhuto. Although he is always engaged in pastimes and his transcendental planet, he is all-pervading. The individual soul cannot claim that he is all-pervading. Therefore, in this verse, describes the Supreme Soul, the personality of Godhead, and not the individual soul. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Sri Chaitanya Manobishram Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamasyam Dadati Swapadarpitam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jata Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavasya Sri Rupam Sangrajatam Sangana Lalita Sri Rupam Gopesh Gopika Kansa Radha Kansa Sapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Davaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sate Pranamami Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Vipasinta Devascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namam Vishwapadaya Krishna Vrishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidinamne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauramani Pracharane Nirvishesha Sanyavadi Paschat Desa Tarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare That's okay. You break it. So, sometimes to understand the philosophy is very boring, isn't it? But Prabhupada takes time to make us as simplified as possible. There is always fight between impersonalist and personalist. And there should be. Because they want to rule the whole world with their philosophy. Advaitavad or Mayavad. And everywhere it is spreading because we are born into the ignorance. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve. But our eyes have been opened by the torchlight of knowledge. So here is the knowledge. We can't keep our eyes closed with majority of people believe or want to ignore the question of real. How can we live even though we believe in real, but we end up living, succumb to the underworld or temporary. It doesn't make sense. So if we are true to ourselves, then we must know, however complicated it is. But if you read for a few times, then you will get some benefit. But if you try to, put in practice the process of chanting Hare Krishna, it will expedite, because the transcendental nature that the holy name provides can work very wonderfully and amazingly. It cannot be explained logically. It transcends. Transcend doesn't mean there is a transit. The transit and transcend are two different things, opposites. To transit means, say, yeah, you have to travel, and there will be so many stops. But transcend means just jump over. In our development of Krishna consciousness, you cannot jump over anything. But if the holy name helps you to jump over, why do you deny? So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to impress upon Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was obsessed with impersonalist philosophy, that there is no hand of the Supreme Lord in making this material world. Maybe elementally it is composed, or just by the fluke he created without any cause. Because he's causeless, why should he have cause? That is their argument. But even if Krishna doesn't have cause, his energies are automatically attained to fulfill any cause that Lord Krishna desires. If you desire something, can it manifest immediately? You have to work for it. All right? But when Krishna desires, all his energies work automatically without even, ordering his energies to start working. Did Sudarshan Chakra kill that demon created by Durvasa Muni and ran after Durvasa Muni on the order of Lord Vishnu? No. Parasya Shaktir Vividhiya Sruyate Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriya. Krishna's Swabhav, his original nature, is very much familiar and known by his energy. You can't separate energy and energetic and energy. And they are so much in tune with the desire of Lord Shri Krishna that they automatically perform Swabhaviki, and they manifest in Jnana Bala. Jnana means knowledge, Bala means strength, and Kriya means activity. So, understanding the Upanishads, this is given in Shvetasatara Upanishad. There are so many arguments, but of course in the pages of Vedas, it will be very difficult to find the explanation. So there are supplementary to the Vedas called Upanishads were created. And that has to be learned. That has to be learned only in association of Guru. Upa means close. Nisha means stay. So one who learns by staying near the Guru, the truth, however, difficulty. One must get acquainted to the answer he is receiving from the Guru. For that purpose, because it is going to benefit for a long time. Tatasmat Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Sreya Uttamam. And Shastri Parichanishnatam Brahmani Samupashram. One should approach a bona fide spiritual master, ask him, approach him with all humility, with the mood of service to him, and ask him pertinent questions, and he will impart you the answers because he has seen the truth. He will show you. Right? And Krishna declares immediately, what is that truth? That truth will free us from moha. Na punar moham evam vyasyasi pandava. My dear Arjun, you will never become bewildered again. That will be the freedom from bewilderment. Come to the acceptance of the right answer. Okay? And you'll be enlightened. Because this truth is imparted by the spiritual master who has seen the truth, means who has realized the truth. In realization, it doesn't pop up like an idea, a tube light in the brain. No. Realization means manifestation, and you must be able to witness or see or perceive through your purified senses. It is a complete manifestation of the absolute truth in front of your eyes. And you have to associate all the time with it. That is the function to go to the Guru. Shastra Parichanishnatam Brahmani Samupam. Because he is expert in the Para means transcendental literature. Conclusive, no confusing. Vedas are confusing. But the Upanishads are not confusing. They grow stage-wise and put us on the level of using our good, purified intelligence so we can use it. So, when Sarvabhauma was told, Sarvataha Panipada, Sarvata Kshishiro Mukham, the Supreme Lord can reach anywhere. It is not limited to our vision or a tiny fund of knowledge that we keep in the brain. Impersonal knowledge is incomplete. It is not perfect knowledge. Therefore, it does not give perfect realization. So even though they artificially think that they have reached to the Supreme, but they fall down from that position. But if you take hold of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no chance of falling down, because that is the Dhamma. Natat vasayate suryo nashasanko tapavata yadgatvana nivartante tatthamam paramam. Krishna is telling that there is no way to come back. Don't get afraid, because you are familiar to material life. Oh, what will happen to me there? What will happen to me there? Are Baba, when you get your own nature as a sample of Krishna, who is Sachidanand, and if you attain your constitutional existence as Sachidananda, and Vigraha, you have the spiritual body which is very smooth, eternal, and ever knowledgeable. So, are you gaining a permanent asset? or temporary. Once you obtain that, there is no way to fear of falling off, because you have taken a shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead solidly through the help of the Guru. So in this way, we have to keep on confirming our situation, that how are we progressing? Are we progressing just like Arjun is progressing, and he has successfully expelled the doubts by asking pertinent questions? Generally, when we try to ask a question, most of the mouths got shut up. Oh, it is too much. But when nobody's there, then person comes, Madam, I have a question. Can I ask you? Don't be afraid. Questions are very essential part of the realization. If there are no questions, there is no impetus to even go further to realize. So, exactly opposite arguments that we have to give through the authority of the Vedas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells him, Sarvata Panipada. He has his hands and legs extended. I mean, how? That he's smaller than the smallest, but at the same time bigger than the biggest. And he's a person, therefore he can extend his hands and legs everywhere. His mouths are everywhere. Everything has been created by him, sustained by him, and dissolved by him. So it is a display of his majesty that he is allowing us to come into a sensible living being. Those who are nonsense, they would not come. But only sensible living entities are coming and trying to put their thinking process to become more and more knowledgeable about the absolute truth, and you will gain it. So we have also to be like a lawyer against this so-called impersonalists and Mayavadis. If we are not equipped with the emanation of proper sadhana and knowledgeability of the Shastras, then take somebody along with you who is more knowledgeable than you and tackle the problem if you meet somebody in there. Don't go alone. Fine. At least if you cannot beat him up by arguments, then other person will be required to punch him. Rupa Goswami tells us to cut off his tongue. Otherwise, we know how to cut off the tongue by putting a big samosa in his mouth. So he got shut up. Okay, don't argue. Just taste the Krishna Prasadam and buzz off. Like that. So, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was very much, taken back by the solid arguments of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he surrendered. He got defeated, he surrendered. He could not sleep the whole night. And as the Mangalarti was finished, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought a heap of Mahaprasad and told Sarvabhauma, get up and eat. And he was so morose because of the defeat. He could not sleep all night. Then he has not taken bath. The time has passed. He has not even did his sadhana. He did not do anything. So he started talking, oh, my dear Lord, I'm impure and this, how can I touch this Mahaprasad? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu blasted, eat it now. Mahaprasad cannot wait. It has to be honored. Do you need your physical purity to honor it? No, Mahaprasad is purifying agent by itself. So Sarvabhauma had no argument. And then he was immediately retrieved by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are personalist. We are personal interrelated. Prabhupada gave us the activity of Bhukti Bhojayate. We are expert in Bhukti Bhojayate. But we are not expert in Guhyam Prachati Akhyatitya. When you come, invite somebody to honor prasadam at your place, what kind of talk will it be? How did you make this recipe? That is the first question. It is so nice. Hare Baba, pertinent question to each other, friend life. That is the association. Bhunte bhojayate, but no guhyam prichyati akhyatitya. What is the third one?
Dadati pratigranati.
Dadati pratigranati. Oh, he gave me last time 50 bucks. I have to give him. Okay, that's all right. But these exchanges are necessary because it builds up relationship. More intimate. They are essential. So devotees are not antisocial people. If you become Shevda, is that antisocial? Yes, but it is clean. Cleanliness in the society is necessary by Brahminical culture, who are always Shevda. Hairs are said to be muchi. And we take so much interest in keeping the hair in a style and this. Anything that is growing out of skin is muchi. It has to be trimmed off. The nails, even the perspiration is muchi. It doesn't clean oneself. So, anyway, the practice that we perform, it is to get more realization. Impersonal people do not associate with anybody. Even they are so much stubborn not to associate with the family members also. Those Brahmanas are so staunch in South India, they cook for themselves even though they have family. They don't want to eat from the hands of their wife. They consider wife to be muchi. How come they have children? Don't ask me. Yeah, there are so many orthodox habits that they are completely distancing ourselves to self-realization. People are orthodox and stubborn in particular type of etiquette, but this is not Vaishnava etiquette. Vaishnava etiquette is beginning from 2:30 in the morning. Prabhupada taught that. Otherwise, who will take care? Devotees were supposed to sleep on the floor with a thin mattress and whatever it is. When they get up, they have to roll up and wipe clean with sponge, water sponge. That is Suchi. But in this days and age, even ISKCON has changed a lot. But Srila Prabhupada was more successful in creating the pool of the devotees who were very sharp and sensitive towards, what they thought. Simply on the strength of Srila Prabhupada, whatever Srila Prabhupada told them, they were ready to execute. Whether they know how to manage or not, but they were ready to execute. This is the nature of full commitment. So, in our movement, Srila Prabhupada's ways are always working. That's why I was glorifying that in the toilet here is a troublesome, but it is not troublesome. It is teaching us something more important. So, I won't take much more time, but I'll take time to answer your questions. Yes.
I've dealt with this before, this kind of thing before, but I'm curious to know how you would go about dealing with this kind of thing. I will describe. So, let's say I say to you, for example, I say to you, Aham Brahmasmi, I am God. I am that. What will you say?
Dasohamasmi. Yes, I told.
Like it. Nice answer.
You are at risk of unknown. Because we do not know what is Brahman. It is immense. Brahman is the sum total of both spiritual and material energy. And Brahman rests on Lord Shri Krishna's existence. Brahmano hi pratisthana. So it is better to surrender to pratisthit, not pratishtha. Krishna is pratisthit in Brahman. Brahman is as an effulgence. So Brahman rests on the body of Lord Shri Krishna. So Dasohamasmi. I am the servant of the servant of the Gopi Bhartu Padakamayo Dasa Das. That is the advanced, nature. That we are all servants by nature. Nobody is a master. So even our false ego can be purified by becoming servant of Lord Krishna. No bad bargain in Krishna.
Thank you, Bharat.
Haripa. Anybody? Yes.
Thank you so much. Maharaj, in your class right now, you said that to realize the absolute truth and experience it, it's not like a tube light that comes on in your mind. It's
The tube light is okay. Because tube light takes time to light up. So when if we are of tube light nature, then he says you are not smart enough, Prabhu. So it's Prakashante Mahatma. Prakashante means enlightened. Right? So Yasya deve para bhakti yada deve tatha guru tasya hi katita hi artya prakashante mahatma. Prakashante means exposed or getting enlightenment and can never hide himself. Mayavadis want to hide themselves because they are afraid of challenges. So why do you have to be afraid? Be bold enough to tell somebody chant Hare Krishna. If you don't, then go to hell.
Guy. Nice.
It is hellish. Otherwise also, but he does not realize so what is the difference for him. Huh? If somebody doesn't understand, if tell anything that will not make any dent in him. So tell him go to hell. If you don't prefer to chant Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
you can say safely, okay, this is your choice, Prabhu. You'll go to hell for sure. We are not Muslims, you know. I will chant Hare Krishna, otherwise, Sartan se juda. I'll behead you. They came in India and killed so many people. If you don't get converted, you meet your death. It's still going on. Yes, Pastor.
When you try to and take it to Lord, others it would contradict it. And he doesn't know how to prove that. So he comes back home and he says, Mama, how can I prove that Krishna is the Supreme Lord? And I said to him, okay, it's written in literature, it's there. That's what it comes in Guru Parampara.
Tell him, nobody has told about himself that he's the Supreme, only Krishna. And it is written down. Nobody, no avatar, not a single entity. Even Jesus Christ didn't say that he is God, he's Son of God. Even Muhammad is not shown his face. What to speak of Allah? The messenger is never to be shown in his face. So, who has said? What is the proof? First of all, get the physical proof. It is written in Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna spoke. And Krishna ascertained, Aham sarvasya prabhavo bhakta sarvam pravasate iti matsva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanuta. If you don't accept, you are Bevku, not Buddha bhava. Buddha bhava means intelligent. Intelligent people will say that here is a claim. Now you become like a lawyer, argue, and win it. You have proof. Bhagavad Gita is therefore revered all over the world as the proof of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is not impersonal. However, people tried to interpret in the impersonal philosophy, but nobody has achieved even liberation by reading that book. It was so claim which is unproven, but Prabhupada was more than liberated. A little child, Prahlad, was more than liberated. And our children, they love Nrsimha Bhagavan so much that they are not fearful in front of Nrsimha Bhagavan. Ask them, do you fear Lord Nrsimha? No, it's my friend. So our right from the beginning, our vision is changed completely. So what do you need the proof? Proof of the pudding is in it. Become Krishna conscious by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Who is not chanting? Everybody's chanting. All right, start from one round. Raise your hands. who is chanting one round, everybody should raise them. They are chanting more than one. Who is chanting 2 rounds? Who is chanting 3 rounds? Who is chanting 4 rounds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my God, there are about 60 people here. Please chant. Don't say chant. Huh? Hello.
We can keep our karma, then why there is a between religious evolution.
You are bound by karma. You already have been bound. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives you relief. Anisthita. Stay wherever you are and whatever you are doing for them. But start checking whether it is conversant with the verdict of the Shastra. That's the only difference. We are doing or we are forced to do karma, and we think we are the doer. Prakritiya kriyamanani guna karmani sarvasara. Ahamkaram vimudhatma kartaram iti manjate. You think you are the doer? No. Your prakriti means the 3 modes of material nature forces you to do. That you have to realize. But you don't have to give up. All right? But take the account of the verdict, means the judgment of the Shastra, that what will happen to you. About the type of karma, for whom you are doing, how much bound you will be. In bhakti, we also do karma, but it is meant for pleasing Guru and Krishna. So therefore, we are not bound up. We give all the results to Krishna. We do not cook food for ourselves. We cook it for Krishna and then distribute. Isn't it time to distribute prasad now? Sorry, I was late, but what can I do? I have been running back and forth from Gold Coast to here like a dog, and we were a little late. No question, or you can come with a plate of prasadam, not for me, but for you, and sit down and keep asking questions. So everything will be finished in time. And please be mindful about the toilets. Janardhan Prabhu notified everybody that the toilet is not functioning, but the lady neighborhood, they are extending their help. So use wisely. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.